What's up, y'all? Welcome to another video. In one of my past videos, I was doing an EDC. It was a short. I was doing an EDC thing, and I happened to have one of these in the videos. One of my pens, my vape pens, and in the comment section, there was all these dorks talking about the feds and felonies, yada yada yada. And I didn't really want to make this video, but with the recent news that the Department of Justice is working on reclassifying marijuana to a Schedule 3 substance, yada. I just felt like it's good to speak up on these things, because the reason I believe that we are in the state that we are in this government is because we're too passive about certain things. We're too hushy hush about things when it comes to the government, when it comes to the feds. Everybody's whispering and stuff. They're afraid to speak their minds, like they're like the feds are some kind of the Ring character, and they're gonna come get them, the boogeyman. And it doesn't work that way. The alphabet boys, the FBI, DEA, ATF, all these federal government agencies are just comprised of people like you and me. People make these laws, people make these rulings, people dictate these things. So it doesn't really work the way people work. It's not the movies. So when it comes to my medical marijuana card, I obtained it legally. When it comes to my concealed weapons permit, I obtained that legally. What I did, and this is not legal advice, this is not telling you what to do, this is my experiences and just sharing it with y'all, is I made sure to get my concealed weapons permit first. I was not using marijuana at the time. I make sure to fill that out correctly and truthfully, and I got my concealed permit in multiple states. Then I proceeded to get my medical marijuana card, and I answered all those questions truthfully, and I legally obtained my medical marijuana card. When it comes to buying guns, I live in a state where I can privately, and by the way, we're clear. I got my OZ9C with me, gray frame, DPM system, RMR X300, Radiant Ramjet. Oh, I love this thing. Take this shit everywhere with me. But anyways, when it comes to buying guns, I buy my guns via private sale, which in my state does not require me to fill out a form 4473 or answer any questions like that. So I don't break the law when I buy guns. I don't break the law when I buy weed. Now, federally, someone can argue that it is breaking the law, but to me, I believe the federal government is breaking the law. It is unconstitutional for the government to tell me that owning a gun and smoking marijuana is illegal. It's unconstitutional. It's unconstitutional. And I'm not here to preach legal precedents or anything like that, but with the recent, Bruin case and the DOJ reclassifying marijuana and all the other cases that are happening throughout the country, we're finally shifting towards the right direction. Now, it actually sickens me when I see, for example, the Biden administration talk about cannabis. You should see how they speak about US citizens. They're calling you dumb. They're basically saying, and you can look this up, they basically said that one of the reasons they don't want people who use cannabis to also own guns is because they are not going to lock up their guns the right way. They're not responsible enough to be able to lock their guns up, which is complete nonsense. It's complete nonsense. And all these other things that they say that's complete FUD lore. It's sickening the way, and I think it's just back and forth. I think people think that it's just the feds. It's not just the feds. Your local government is working against you. There's some places, right? Like, for example, I used to live in Philly, and the Philly government officials actively try to bar people from getting concealed weapons permit. It doesn't matter if it's about weed or anything. It seems as though that their main focus is to prevent as many people as possible from getting their concealed weapons permit. It's insane. Look at the state of California. You can't do shit in Cali. Like, it's insane. So it's not just the feds. It's people are working on stripping you of your rights. Right now in the state of New Jersey, I don't know if it's still happening, but I do remember reading an article recently where the attorney general reclassified how things are done when it comes to drug testing for police officers, which made it possible for police officers to be able to use medical marijuana because they were not going to be tested for it if you use it off duty. The city officials in New Jersey City sued or are suing the federal government to be able to screen and test these police officers and get them fired for using medical marijuana. City officials, not the feds. The city officials are suing the federal government. No, the city officials are suing the state and federal court. I'm sorry. So it's not, again, it's people. I will never whisper about this stuff. I legally obtained all my licenses. I'm a law-abiding citizen, and I'm prepared to deal with the consequences. The feds were to try to come for me, I will defend myself. I'd hire an attorney and defend myself. But the chances of that happening, I believe, are very slim, considering the people I get my medical marijuana from are next to Chipotle, and they pay taxes, and I pay taxes on my taxes. Like it's crazy to me. These dispensaries are paying millions and billions of dollars in taxes to the federal government to run their business, and the federal government is taking their money. It's like this charade they're playing to appease big pharma and all these other little things. It's people running government, ruining things that should not be ruined. So it is my constitutional right to be able to own a firearm, especially since I'm a law-abiding citizen. I can legally own this, and it's also my right to be able to use medical marijuana legally because it is a legal product in my state. So hopefully in the near future this changes, but I just really would like for people to speak up more about this. Stop letting the government run all over us with these bullshit reasoning as to why they want to control what they want to control. It's insane. If I could talk to my younger self, I would probably tell my younger self, hey, don't, because as young folks, we don't give a fuck. Honestly, let's just keep it real. I didn't give a shit. If I thought something was not right or unconstitutional or whatever, when I was younger, I would just do what I wanted to do. I didn't go the legal route or anything like that. I would tell myself, do everything legally and make sure that you live a life where if you had to defend your rights, if you had to defend yourself, you can proudly, with your head held high, defend yourself and be able to explain and articulate why this is bullshit and how they got you fucked up. So just wanted to keep it super short. I own all these things legally. Hopefully in the near future, the Department of Justice and the federal government, they do what they need to do to change what they need to change. This country could use some of that money, that revenue that they're missing out on by barring banks for doing business with any company that deals with medical marijuana or cannabis or anything like that. But as you can see with the states that are dealing in the business of cannabis, they're raking in cash like it's nobody's business. Not only that, when I go to the dispensary, I see a ton of old people, a ton of disabled people, a ton of vets who need this stuff. Like if I didn't use medical marijuana, I would have to rely on prescription medication. And the idea of being addicted to prescription medication, I just can't. I can't do it, man. And I can't. It's not right. Anybody with a common sense, anybody who's, I don't know, a normal American citizen who thinks rationally would say that it's not right. So, not telling you what to do. This is not legal advice. This is my opinions, my experiences that I'm sharing with y'all. When you see me post videos and stuff like that, I buy everything legally, and you should speak up. If you ever feel compelled to speak up, speak up. Speak your truth. Say what you got to say. Defend yourself. Because right now, it's not just the feds. Your local government is fighting against you. Not every local government, but a lot of our local governments are fighting against us. And it's not the whole system. It's people. So, which is why it's good to vote, not just for president, but things locally. Make sure you go vote. And we make sure we get these people out of here. Because we got to get these people out of here. So that's my rant. Wanted to set the record straight. I'm not out here doing felonious activities. If anything, I believe the federal government is swimming in felonies. They're infringing on our rights, and enough is enough. We gotta start speaking up, doing something about it. So let me know in the comments your experience with it. What are your thoughts? Do you agree, disagree? Are you a med patient? Are you afraid of the government? Let me know in the comments. And I appreciate you guys watching this video. Appreciate you guys from tuning in. Again, I appreciate the support. Love you guys. Do something great. Empower somebody today. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Deuces.